Hmm, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Um, folks. Here we are. We are going to draw. Before we get around to that, please let me, um, you know, prepare. I guess I'm not going to have any, since I'm not going to have any background music, I'm just going to take off the headphones because that might actually be a bit more, a bit better. I don't know, maybe. Mm, so basically, we are going to well, you'll see who we are going to sketch today. It's Kagura from Fairy Tail. I think she had her first appearance at the end of first season of Fairy Tail, which is easy. Actually, it's pretty crazy. I've lost contact with Chillhop, so I have no idea if I'm going to be able to stream with the songs because um, the support is not helping anymore, I guess. Very cool, very cool. Okay. Um, okay. Kagura from Gintama is killer. True, true. Okay, and the last thing, digital painting. I'm copying all of that, pasting it to blue sky. There are a couple other things that I'll have to work on a little bit. We'll see actually how far we'll go or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And yeah. Yep. Yesterday we actually had a break. You know. Yeah. We had yesterday some break actually, and the break was just because I was just so out of energy that I couldn't even contact properly. It was like I was like brain dead yesterday. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to discard this, hide that. I guess I'm going to go to drawing tab, go here. Okay, because I still need some reference for the style, I guess. I'm going for slightly thinner things, right? Thinner lines. I'm that's why, for example, I'm doing a lot of sketches, and basically I'm doing it just fits because it's going to, yeah. So I've got the reference here, so everything's already prepared. I'm going to use the number 10 brush. I guess we can just draw, right? I guess you can just draw. The thing is, they've got the Reno Tuna's usual size, but he's actually using 300 dpi, 72 dpi for sketches, I guess. The thing is that he's drawing without zooming, and that's something I still need to learn. He zooms in, but like that. That's as far as he zooms in, which is crazy, actually. Which is crazy. And yeah, basically we've done Urza from Fairy Tail already, which is crazy that we've got those two. I'm saying crazy way too many times. Then we've done Nemu, we've had a Bernice, and we've finished a Lisa from Genshin Impact. So we're almost finishing the first drop. This is because I'm going to make drops of 5 sketches. I want to make more or less a buffer of like, you know, 3 drops. So 15 sketches before I start posting it because of how slow I am at making those sketches. Even though I should be able to make them, no problem. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking of making a nice thing. Hi Maurice, glad to have you here. How are you? Hope it has gone. How have you been? First, let's go. Hi Muto, glad to have you here. How are you? Hope it has gone. Good, glad to hear that. I'm wondering what I'm going to watch with my mom today. I guess we're going to watch some paranormal activity again. We've recently started watching the entire series of paranormal activity, which is like horrors. And getting ready for the movie. Ooh, that's nice. That's really nice. Okay, so I guess I'm going to. I've got more or less an idea that I can draw her in when it comes to the pose. Got an annoying assignment to work. We'll listen to your stream in the background. Alrighty, alrighty. hmm. I'm going to. So basically, my idea is to make her like, you know, those like drop, you know, and like just squatting while holding her sword. I don't know why I'm like trying to gesticulate the everything, but like I want the sword to be like that, kinda. So her leg would be like, one leg would be more or less like this, I assume. Another leg would be like this. Oh no. E. Looks a bit as NSFW adjacent. Oh. Yep. What you mean? Just squatting. Using sword like straight ping pong. Oh my. I guess that works. Oh my. I mean, it's one of the poses that usually mangakas are giving them. I think Erza had something like that. Um, she had those like she had that armor where she was in like bikini and basically she had like a wooden sword. The author actually made some artworks too, quite similar to those. And I think Kagura was also presented by the author in this pose too. Okay, I'll be heading out. I'm sorry I can stay longer. It's okay. It's okay. Have fun on your movie. Bye for now. Yep, bye for now. I guess I'm doing it really sketchily, and I thought of making thinner lines, but I feel like the lines are not getting thinner at all. I guess this is my style element, thick lines. It's just something that I can't shake off. No matter how much I would test out, I'm always going back to thicker lines, you know? I mean, I know it's just about changing the size of my brush and just like that, you know? And the problem is out, but I don't know. I feel compelled to having that 10 pixels big brush. I love how the tracking site says that expected delivery time yesterday is 17. I hate this. I hate this. We'll see. Tomorrow a package is going to come in with the present for my brother. With that small mouth, she kind of looks like Komi can, like Komi from Komi Can't Communicate. Um, Cosplaying Kagura. I like this though. She looks like someone pestered her long enough to do this pose and she had enough. Alright, now you happy? I like that too. I like that scenario too. Sounds sounds good enough. I mean, to be fair, she was like that. Kagura, that is. Kagura was like this. I remember there was this kind of slutty character actually in her team. She was like a blonde girl that apparently was some kind of just supermodel. She had no zero like actual talent. And basically she thought that she can fight with Mirayan. And she thought that Mirayan is going to just fall for the thing to, oh look, well, I guess it's I guess we are just going to do some model kind of work. Meanwhile, Mirayan actually turned into demon form and just annihilated her ass. That was funny to watch. I like Fairy Tail. I don't know why. You can kind of see also by my world that I really like mages. I've always preferred mages. I have no idea why. No matter what universe, what game, you know, what anime, whatever has magic, for me that's like instant sell. I just like the idea of magic for some reason. You know, that's why we've got alchemy in my universe. I just like it. Same for sci-fi. If there's technomancy, I'm just going for it. Like no matter what, I'm just like brought to the magic elements of the universe for some reason. No matter what kind, technomancy, necromancy, pyromancy, cryomancy, you know, just anything. Also, just the pure thing. Mm, of the freaking orcs in what was it, Warcraft? Orcs, daga daga daga. I'm always mixing Warcraft with Warhammer, so sorry. I think it was Warhammer. Um, so just basically, they, I guess you can say they are using magic. I mean, it's just if they say that something works, it just works. It doesn't matter if, for example, they are shooting with empty magazine. They just have unlimited ammo because it should work. Like they have the power of making whatever they believe, you know, something into something existent. You know. Actually, imagine though the Necros thing from Warhammer turning the freaking orcs into some like turning themselves into some kind of a religion for orcs and basically making them like believe that they are some kind of superior beings, actually giving them unlimited power. That would be that would be crazy lore for a game. Kagura also has this is one of those characters that have this resting beach face for some reason. Also the head in general should be um in a bit different spot. But yeah. Oh my. Actually, that's something I couldn't really understand. I think Kagura's chest in Fairy Tail was nerfed for some reason at some point. As I'm looking at one of her, mm, at her general, you know, at her references from the first time we've seen her, her like chest is fuller, right? If that makes sense. Just in general. That's something I can't really understand in anime recently too. Like making such changes. Like, okay, I understand that, you know, it's just kind of a taste kind of thing. But if, for example, the character was already done like that, why changing it? It kind of brings more attention to it, you know? Like, that's the thing. For example, if they would change Mr. Popo, it would bring way too much attention to it, and it would start to be like, yikes, you know, considering how it looks like, how he looks like. So, yeah. Like, if he would be blue. No, like when he was blue, that was like okay. That wasn't like big of a change, you know, because like you know, inks can be blue and black, right? So like it kind of fits in, you know, maybe it was a light thing kind of thing or whatever. Like that doesn't make anything. But if for example they would whitewash him or if they would like turn him green or like any other color that is not even remotely close to black, just as much as blue, because blue and red are kind of like one of the darkest colors that we can get from our color wheel, right? If we are going to turn them into, basically if we are going to turn them into grayscale, they are going to have the same like very dark gray color. But the thing is that basically they've picked well to turn him blue, because that like changed some stuff. But yeah, it was a bit yikes. It would be a bit yikes if they would like turn him totally something else. But yeah, if for example we are talking about um is that right? Wait, I need to check Kagura reference from like 3-4 view, because something is not right. Kagura from Fairy Tail. Yeah, that's what I thought. So basically, I had to crack my fingers because like literally hurted me so much. Um, yeah, her chest is not that big, I think. But if we are looking at her from the anfas, it's like very wide basically. So it kind of looks bigger from the front than how it is actually from the side and stuff. Yeah. Okay. So we'll make some changes. That was generous of me, but that's like how she looks like from like the same view. Yeah, that makes much more sense. Also, I'm happy because we are capable to finish. We might be actually capable to finish this sketch quite faster than I was expecting. I'm zooming today. That's good. That's good. I'm scared of what's going to happen tomorrow. At work, I'm scared. I'm kind of anxious. I don't like things. Like yesterday was good. Today, I don't know. Today, we have issues, with freaking, we have issues with freaking, client, mostly because of my bosses, trying to do stuff. I'm still shocked that he's like, because of the same thing, he lost like couple clients basically, and you can see when he's mad because he starts to be like even bigger of a dick than he usually is. Pardon my French. So basically, he's like, you know, a bit more pesky because of that. So that's like, yeah. And now he's having issues because he can't really bring in anyone. So I'm now even scared to like tell him like ask him about how the Christmas is going to look like, because I'm still scared that I'll be forced to work on Christmas. And that like it wouldn't be anything bad if he would actually pay me in addition that he should be. So because I already know that he won't. And if I'll even try to talk about it, he'll try to like, make me, you know, like scare me or something with firing me or just firing me. I hate those kind of talks because, like, actually, the bosses really tend to lose their minds when someone is bringing up money to the table. I mean, bringing up money in the conversation. Like, they don't like when someone is asking when I'm going to be paid for my work. They hate to be asked why, they hate to be asked for, some time off. I need to find some jobs in Norway that are going to work for me. Most likely, I'm going to look for something remote, or I guess if when I'm going to move there, it's also going to be much easier because I can just sit there and find a job at like cafe or something. I'm allowed to work there if they'll need me to make some tests. I can do those because I've already done the health and safety card. Isn't Norway cold? Kinda it is, yeah. My father works there, and basically, I was recently talking with my mom about, just going to Norway, basically. Um, right now, the situation is not getting any safer for now, and we're kind of anxious because, in theory, they can take me to army as a medic or something like that. So I'm kind of screwed because I'm actually not eligible for that. But yeah, I got half my. Oh my! You're halfway to. You're literally halfway to get them file for bankruptcy. Just second half to go. Oh, imagine. Oh my. So yeah, I'm just kind of wondering. Hey, let's go. Hey, Mao. But yeah, Norway is kind of cold. It has really nice summers. I won't say it's got a really nice summers, but Hmm. Wait, is the yeah, the arm seems to be good size. Yeah. I'm wondering about figuring out maybe a bit different style of sketching. You know, there was this thing when you're like making something like this and this and this, right? And you're just kind of overlapping things on top of it. Trying to figure out how the game would look like. Do I make it isometric? I hate to say this, but isometric view might actually be really darn difficult to pull off. You know, isometric seems good because you don't get that many isometric games, despite like how well it is, how good it is. But the problem with isometric is that actually it's kind of difficult to pull off, in my opinion. Although I figured out how Mega Man Battle Network did it. Um, they've made a slab. They've made elements on that slab, figured out where the character is going to go and where it's not, and it's basically going to and basically made it like a one huge object in their game. You know, just cities spliced into different areas. Actually, I could recommend you trying to figure out Mega Man Battle Network series for isometric view. I think that could help you a bunch, especially to like see how you can make it easier, I assume. It has a bunch of upsides, true. It has, most likely, it has like crop load of upsides actually. Guess they baked the layers. Yeah, kinda. Kinda. Um, but yeah, Mega Man Battle Network, really cool game. Isometric view, I recommend checking out. Not only for playing, but also if you are interested into finding something isometric that would work for your game. I was actually thinking of doing it the same way, making one, isometric view game only because of Mega Man Battle Network. And actually, on another hand, there's this thingy mm, that I'm kind of wondering. Do I want to make the maps like, parallax kind of thing? Or do I want to just go with as it's supposed to be? Because parallax is allowing you, in RPG Maker, is allowing you to actually make graphics. Um, it allows you to make graphics, of maps that are not aligned with the usual RPG Maker way how it goes. So basically, yes, you are making like floor in the actual game, but then every single object and any other element that you want to place on a map is actually placed as an image, and then you are just using empty things that are like that have the square, triangle, and X, right? You have those because you have those three different things. At which point is it easier to use an engine? I mean, it's going to be way easier to make the engine because like I also want to edit the character generator. I want to add for RPG Maker. I want to edit the battle system, the inventory system, and everything would need the plugins. So actually, it is at that point way easier to just use engine. But I think like I don't know if I'll be able to make it work, you know? That's what I'm scared of. But on the other hand, I could just learn really quickly how to do things. Like I'm going to just sit down and like, oh, so how to make the character walking? I'm writing it in. And for example, the guy is showing the code, right? So, okay, I'm going to write that code down. I'm reading through the code and like, oh, so on that press. God damn it. I hate this. On press square brackets W, a character goes up, right? So like, oh, okay, so that's the command that is doing something when I am hitting the button on the keyboard. Makes sense. I'm going to use that to do this, and now how else I can, and now since I want this to make it attack, I'm just going to do the same thing as for walking and kinda like reverse engineering how I can make the character playing attack animation, right? That part is easy and most of the times comes with pre-made template. Yeah, but like, you know, I'm a dummy. Oh my. Oh, I think there's like a circle here. Yeah. Okay. It's like kind of like this. E. So yeah, it's like, you know, like how to make jumping, right? So for example, I would need to make the animation, make it work with the button, the animation is played, the character is being thrown on a different like z axis or whatever axis we're talking about. I think it's y. Um, but for me, it's like z is always like uh, in layers, right? So z is like layer axis. So like we are changing where the on which axis the character is in on the axis, and so on and so on and so on. Rolling could be also like this, right? If you are capable to, if you want to make like very specific like holes to roll under. This is in RPG Maker. Z axis, yes. I can, well, yes and no, actually. I can make the character kinda, I can make the character jump. That's for sure. Um, it's just difficult to explain right now without seeing the engine because it does things kind of differently. But I can make it just that, oh, if I click this button, this thing happens. You know? But there's like this like common event kind of thing that has to constantly run. So you have to call it you know, you kind of have to call it back every single time you want to use it, and if the character can do the same thing like constantly, right? You kind of have to feel obligated to. I don't know what's going on with me. I can't speak normally today. Like my body is refusing to allow me to talk. um, I'm getting hiccups and stuff. Mm, so yeah, like I can do that, but I think it's going to be much easier actually in normal engine. Like want to see how far I can take RPG Maker, you know? I kind of want to see how far I can go with it. I'm also thinking about the battle system for that game because I need to, since I'm already making graphics, I kind of need to rethink the battlers. I was thinking about making the battle system like art, real-time battle system kind of thing. So I'm clicking the button and the character is like casting a spell or whatever, and the characters are enemies are getting damaged. Mm, but I don't think that would work. Um, I'm kind of pondering between something like Mega Man Battle Network has. So we are getting thrown into like a different screen, right? And we have this some kind of grid. Each has like 9 um, tiles to walk on, and basically it's like you can still cast normal spells that are going to like I don't know set fire to the space or block the enemy, but your main goal is to like attack the enemy to to deal damage to its HP. But the enemy can like move, so that's why you need to like figure out how you can incapacitate it. Or actually still very similar view for the battle, but kind of like Ikenfell has. So you have tiles. Each character can move by X amount of tiles based on the speed. Um, and basically based on that, you can only um, hmm, yeah, you can move an X amount of tiles, and then you can use like battle, spell, right? And you also have like range where you can do like XCOM, kinda, yeah. Um, yeah. But it's like very restricted. It's not like typical XCOM kind of thing, but more or less kind of like that. Yeah. If yeah, I want something similar too. Yeah, so I was thinking about that because like the normal RPG Maker battle system is not really working for me, you know? It just doesn't. I don't know. RPG Makers RPG Maker in general is very boring engine. I don't know why it gains so much popularity. But you can make a lot of changes to it, especially now with the freaking JS. In theory, you can even make a MMORPG on it. You just need to make a plugin that is going to connect to the server, check for database for the login and password, registering, character making, yada yada yada. Would make it would be quite fun, but yeah. um, yeah. So I'm kind of just wondering about some elements in that game that I'm making right now. Mostly I need to figure out stuff that are going to like determine what graphics I'm going to use. You know, she kind of looked chubby there. Mm. Yeah. So basically, I'm kind of figuring out things bit by bit. Uh, I've got the like basis for walking animations, so I all I need to do now is just kind of making the characters. Uh, I might need something that would help me quickly making the characters. You know, we will see. I'm kind of thinking about actually making it um to sell those things, those resources for RPG Maker. The tile set, the character sets, face sets, but most importantly, you know, just the things for hmm, just the things for like character generator plugins. Hi Dad, good to have you here. How are you hoping has going? I will tell you tomorrow. How come you know that I'm going to stream tomorrow? Nah, I'm joking. I will. I will. It's Friday tomorrow, so. Hmm. Okay, we finally cleaned her out. That's good for us. That's good news. A penguin would never be mischievous. Evil newt newt. Oh no, don't mind me. Just losing it again. So tomorrow I'm going to have a package. My main problem is also that I don't really. Well, I'm supposed to have a package tomorrow. We'll see. My main problem is that I've ordered something for my brother, and now I'm scared that it's not going to arrive because it wasn't ordered by the usual thing. Me like that line art. This line art? Nice. I like that. Sausage finger. Oh my. Okay, wait. That has like something like this. Yeah. And then goes like this. And then we are taking that, doing similar thing. I tried something and I tried something and it freaking works. What? What you mean? I'll show you later. Okay. Isometric works. Ooh, I like that. I like the sound of that. Actually, people are already making freaking isometric views in RPG Maker too. I mean, they've already done them. It's not like they are making it, they've already made them. There are already plugins for that. And tile sets. I guess it's not really that difficult, especially that they've made that update that the characters can walk on, diagonally. But I want to make a plugin that will allow you to just walk pixel perfect kind of thing, right? By pixel. That should allow to establish things. I guess since I'm already at it, I could try to. Upside, it only needs back and front sides and flip them to get all the directions. True. True, that's the upside, huge upside. Mm, now I'm wondering if I want to make my game isometric or not. Since it's already, a thing in RPG Maker community, the isometric view games. Hmm. Oh my. So yeah, I am wondering that right now. Much less work to do. Much less frigging work to do. Uh, well, on the other hand, I was also wondering about the freaking eight directional movement, And I'm like, do I want to really do that to myself and make the movement eight directions? And do I really? It's just going to be such a pain in the neck to make it, but it's going to look so good. I guess I could make the character move like in isometric view, so it's just back and front, and I can flip those. But then I have to make a plugin for that too, to make the character move as it's supposed to. Hmm. But yeah, the isometric view would also really help me a lot. Hmm. It just has a lot of options. What to do, what to do. The only problem is it F's up my train style since I did not draw anything in isometric that can be used as reference. Mm-hmm. Bummer. I mean, on other hand, you can just draw the references. There's isometric dummies, but did not use them because it was not the intended thick outline style. True. Man, why does it have to be always such a pain in the neck to do stuff? Made them back when I wanted to do the chess game. Oh yeah, you did. There was one. Hmm. But yeah, you don't have them in that specific art style. Hmm. 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 Despite that it kind of works, I just need to redraw a bunch of stuff. Oh my. I need to do like 20 to 30 of them to lock in the style and perspective too. Yeah. Hmm. I mean, then at this point, you'll just be, you just be good drawing all of them yourself. Fun little finger. Is it or is it glove? Kinda glove because she has like very like weirdly thick fingers and basically the arm. So well, the forearm where she has the glove. So I'm assuming that this is the because of the glove, I guess. Hmm. To be fair, I have to say that I'm utterly disappointed in the studio that makes One Punch Man. The sheer way how everyone was just going on about how bad the new One Punch Man looks like, even making jokes like One Frame Man and stuff. Uh, yeah, it's kind of disappointing that they've made people wait like this. I think it's watchable. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm saying that they could be bad. They could do better. Like we've seen other seasons which were way better. But the sheer thing that now things that possibly could be done by a by an animator, because yeah. Oh, like this with Demon Slayer. I notice it there more. Hmm. I don't know. To be fair, I don't know why people are paying such attention to those things. Maybe it's because I'm generally not even watching the anime itself. I'm just listening to it and just tracking the story and having the thing just in my peripheral. But turned out they had the animation budget, just put all of them into the last episode. What, One Punch Man? Or Demon Slayer? One Punch Man apparently was using AI, even though um, apparently there are people saying that those could be the simple animation errors. And yes, those could be animation errors actually. You know, the things that they're pointing out as being AI generated. Like for example, the character they were showing like, oh look, the character here has 5 fingers. It happens. Oh look, this character is like swinging something and the band-aid disappears. It happens. It's like those things were happening back in the days too. People were just not really that cautious about that. Yeah, but in a fast frame it doesn't matter anyways. True. Exactly. In a fast frame it doesn't matter anyway. Who watches the freaking anime like frame by frame? Also, the frame rate of One Punch Man is actually not 24 but 12 frames per second, so it's like half of the frames, if I remember correctly. Well, I know that one of the anime had lower frame count, so and I'm thinking it was actually One Punch Man. So basically, simply just because the frame rate is slower, I think that's what caused people to like pay closer attention to like frames and like things like playing the anime frame by frame, which is actually something you shouldn't be doing. You should be playing it on normal speed, right? Then you are not noticing those things. Like for example, in the Dragon Ball Super, in those funny episodes, it was very difficult to notice a lot of things. I'm just saying that Demon Slayer is made by Ufotable, and for like 8 episodes, it was like this too. True, true. Uh, And we know Ufotable for the animation quality. Yeah. Wasn't Ufotable also working on Dandadan and stuff? And for example, Dandadan doesn't have those issues. We have to also pay attention to who's at the animation team, you know? They made Fate. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. So basically, we have to pay attention to who was in the team. Because, like, for example, the budget, right? Okay, yeah, the budget. But if, for example, for the last two episodes, they've took their best people, like all those like old animators that are at this point are doing this for like years, for example, it just doesn't really make sense that they are still nothing compared to Fate Heavensfield. Yeah. So basically, the general idea is that and they just pulled all these experienced people to work on the last two episodes of Demon Slayer. And surprise, like other anime suffered from that, right? Same thing could be for something else. For example, they are finishing like one of the fates or working on new fates, so they kind of got the they kind of got the characters, right? I assume it's a budgeting trick to do a hitting end. True, because like if they are going to animate every single episode the same and they are not going to spare any like additional cash just for the ending, then it's just going to be a bit underwhelming ending, right? They want the anime to be memorable, but unfortunately right now it's kind of ringing alarm bells that they are kind of, if it's true, right, that it was budgeting trick, it kind of rings the bells that actually there's not that many good animators in there, or they're actually struggling financially, which they actually shouldn't. They actually shouldn't. Also, I think Ufotable made much more anime that had like a crap load of things, you know. And yeah, that's the thing. You can't really have um the last two episodes with the final fight looked like they spent 1 to 1 days with first episode and months in the last two. Yeah. I think this is exactly how it looked like. Because they are going to make like very powerful ending and people are going to like say, oh okay, it was worth it. But meanwhile you are going to sit down you're going to sit down and have like they're going to sit down and just make like fix other episodes. They're just going to fix them. And I believe that this is exactly what's going to happen with One Punch Man. They're just going to work their way through the episodes, make much higher budgeting for the last episodes or even the last part of the season, and they're just going to call it a day. Isn't it like the season where there's fight with Cosmic Garou? So you now know why, if it is, then now you know why it's actually why is it going to happen like that? Or what was the nickname for Garou? Garou the Beast or something like that? Whatever. The guy with like weird hair. Well, there wasn't a Saitama fight so far as I recall. Yeah. The Hero Hunter. Oh, the Hero Hunter. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, you know. I don't know where I'm getting all those mix-ups recently with the nicknames and stuff. Mm, there are some good fights that could be more flashy, but screwed by low FPS and lazy animation. Yeah, you know, Toy Animation did the same thing, and they've put out, they've done it just because they have deadlines too. Like for example, there are people who are saying like, "Oh yeah, like um, we are coming back with Dragon Ball. Let's freaking go! We're going to make the Dragon Ball, baby. That's what people were waiting for." About uh, 200, 300 episodes, whatever the Dragon Ball episode count was for the Dragon Ball Super. We are going to redo the stories from the movies as the episodes. We are going to then continue. You catch my drift? And someone asks, yeah, so it's going to be like really long project, right? Nah, fam, you have like 6 hours for one episode. Yeah. So like sometimes like I hate when they are trying to throw meat at animators despite like animators actually doing their best with the time they are given. Animations are not that simple just because like for example someone from Twitter is capable to do something quote unquote better but has like unlimited time on making one scene, for example, it doesn't mean that those people actually have much more on their hands. Like though they have deadlines to meet. And that's actually like if they prefer to output something bad and then redo the animations for Blu-ray, like what they've done with Dragon Ball, instead of like sitting down and and lose their job just because they defied their their manager, their boss, because the deadline was too tight. You know, you can kind of see with what was the drama with the animators from for that one studio. I don't remember which one that was. Where apparently people were crunching, literally spending even a week in the office without seeing their families. So, yeah. And there you have it, There you have it. It's like very, I don't know, very sticky situation because on one hand, like, sure, the animation could be better, but it's watchable and animators are suffering. I don't know. I don't know. You can call it lazy animation, but as a matter of fact, were the animators actually allowed to be lazy? Or they're forced to speedrun all these scenes, That's like the kind of the split that I'm at right now. It's just bad to think about it. Even I could in that quality. Yeah, well, like again, for example, they've had a project, they were ending some episodes, so they've pulled out all these skilled people and, just put them on the project to finish it with huge thing. And people like less experienced animators, less experienced people are, well, were left. Let's say some animations, even I could do in that quality. Okay. Yeah, like I know, but it's like, is it really because of laziness? Or is it because, for example, some like the inexperienced artists were left, to carry bunch of episodes on their own hands, even though they are not experienced at all with the studio and how to animate, Or was it because, because, for example, I don't know, the artists had very small time frame, or maybe is it actually because of the laziness of the artist? You never know. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, the main problem I see right now with it is that actually the animation itself is not, like, it is watchable, and I do feel like there's like a second end to everything that's happening right now in the animation industry. Because, like, okay, I understand crunching huge project and stuff, but crunching for a week, mm, could do it in freaking PowerPoint. True, true. But, like, for example, if the artists, you know, the Garo slide, for example, you know, um, let me tell you, when you're making an animation, you are making it in a different thing. The storyboard, keyframes, then animation, like ideation, I guess. So, for example, you have a slide, the character doesn't really have much movement, it just slides, right? And that's the walking animation. Then it starts to get the thing. It doesn't matter, we don't fault individual animators and artists. People blame the studio, and it's probably budgeting and management issue, or even talent issue. But still, they are to blame. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like, that's the thing. Hmm. I guess I'm just trying to protect the animators, but I guess, it's also the animators who output those animations, right? It doesn't matter. Nobody blames individual animators. Yeah. Well, I've seen people blaming individual animators. But I guess it's just, the small amount of people that are doing that. It's not like the majority of people blaming them. Maybe it's just some ignorant people who don't understand, like, how animations work. If I have no time, I write shit code too. Yeah, and then you can just come back and fix it, right? It's not like it's carved in stone that you can't come back and fix your thing. I mean, you've seen me drawing with when I don't care about time and when I care about the time. Most of the time, it's easier to restart. Yeah, well, then you can restart, and you know that you don't have to care about the time anymore, so you can just allow yourself to work a bit better. And you are, for example, fixing this stuff really quickly, so it's not really that bad. I guess it's not really that bad for you. Hello, 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 hello. Oh my. Do you know that it's literally impossible for me to find the first um to find the very first paranormal activity that actually was released? I could find only all the paranormal activities besides the first one. Only the two to the newer ones actually. It's so weird. And apparently that's actually that's the best paranormal activity because everything else is like, lore connected thing kind of. I can find it in Polish. Bro, if you can find it in Polish, you are a master. I was searching across the internet for that crap. I literally couldn't. Got English. Yeah, well, like, I want to watch it with my mom. She doesn't speak English. And she hates reading, the movies where you have to read the thing. Because she wants to focus on the movie itself. And reading is like taking her attention from the actual movie, so. I think I'm getting sick again. I hate this. Mm. Yeah. Okay, we're finished. Here are a couple things that I've messed up. Um, Her legs are too long, the shins. Although like she should be, yeah, because her legs like in that position should be more um like her body is like this, her legs should be like this. So like that. And I've done her legs like this, but her shins are like this. So it's like a slightly longer than the actual thing. But on the other hand, like, okay, this shin is like that. When legs are closed, the butt is over the ankles. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it kind of is here. It's just that it might look like this too because she has her legs, her feet like this, right? So she kind of like sits on her ankles, kind of. But I definitely messed that one up. I wonder if I can fix this with liquify tool. Nah. Although, like this? Nah. Yeah, I've messed up this pose. I've messed up this pose. But there's something, it's always something to look into, Like, okay, I've messed up the pose. Like, big deal. Like, next time, if I want to make it like this, another pose like this, I'm just going to know to pay more attention to what I'm doing, actually. But yeah, we've done it. Mm, Also, this arm seems to be way too long. There's just a lot of things I've messed up. I kind of want to redo it. Do we redo it? The more I'm looking at it, the more I hate it. uh, uh, yeah, we redo it on the next stream. Mm, I'm marking it with purple. I like the rest. Yeah, like I like the rest too. It's just the arm, the legs. I won't be able to make a normal changes here. I guess I could just figure this out, and just I'm going to keep all of that. Like I'm going to try to salvage as much as possible, and I'm just going to like erase all the parts that I hate. So like this arm, I'm going to erase those legs. If you only redo the part under her butt, like this. What about with the arm? Too long. Yeah, too long. Looks fine to me. You think so? I mean, I was calculating that and it was looking good. Yeah, I guess I'm going to leave it. So only this wouldn't. Oh, yeah, because. Yeah, you're right. You're right, actually. Because I can just make it just so the ankles are like this, touching her butt, and it's still going to work well. You are right on that. Yes, we are going to fix it. You can slide the hand lower if you find the arm too long. True. True, true, true. Yeah. Okay. I need to fix below here. Then alrighty. I'm going to do that. Yeah, because I just don't like it the way it is right now. There's just something in here. Okay. So, ah, damn it. Thanks Zega, thanks thanks Zega, thanks Muta for being active chat on Twitch, and thanks Maurice and Dad for being active chat on YouTube. Meanwhile folks, stay creative and I hope to see you all in the next one.